Well, good morning, folks. It's another beautiful day in the Oregon coast, and we're still here working on this garage. I just wanted to share with you guys what we have going on, kind of where we're at with it. So, what we've done in the last few days is tear the roof off. We ran into some rot, which is pretty typical for a building that looks like this. So that's what all this sheeting is. So right now, plywood's crazy expensive. This is 3/4 inch plywood we're using here. And it's about $66 a sheet for this stuff. So anyways, there's still a lot of work to go. I'm gonna put a new window in right there. These outlets, I'm gonna swap them out. There's still some rot to fix. But we're kind of slowly chipping away on it. Cut all the tails off where we can put new gutters on, clean everything up. So on this old siding, we're just gonna use as the sheeting, and we're gonna come over the top of it with some felt paper and some hardy siding, which it's a cement board. And as you'll notice on this side, you know, we still got a ways to go. The roof's pretty much torn off. There's still a little section of it right there that we got to get to today, but what we're doing, as you can see, you can't see this side replaced yet, but I'm cutting a line all the way up this and replacing the whole outside edge all the way around with new plywood. And then we're gonna go right over the top of this with another layer of plywood. That way we have sheeting to backer to nail our roofing to. And see, what happened is all this was rotten under here, and we're gonna paint it, so we want a nice clean surface that can last for many years to come. This, you know, it needs some love on the front of this too, but just kind of a slow process, but we're getting it. So I'll show you up here on this roof, explain it a little better. So this is what you're looking at here. Okay, and see, like down this edge, and for the most part this side is in pretty good shape. You know, it's not really rotten, but it's just gonna make it a whole lot easier to deal with new plywood than it is deal with this old stuff and all the prep it needs. So, as you can see, like this, if you were to put new roofing on, there's a lot of space that you can't nail all down it. This is how they used to do it back in the old days, the good old days, like they say. So anyways, with plywood, you know, no matter where it lands, you can nail. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over this whole thing with new plywood, nail it down. What you want to do is you want to break, you know, right on here, and then down your rafters as well. So whenever you're roofing, what you need to do is you need to put these toe boards down at the bottom. That's what those are. They're catching all the debris, but that's for safety. We leave a little hole right in the middle where we can let the trash kind of through in one spot easier. And then you want a harness. That's what this is. When you go to fasten these down, you want to fasten them right into your rafter That way they hold good. But yeah, this is what we're doing. And so anywhere that you run into any of these that are rotten or broken, you want to replace them first with the same thickness material that you have. This is 3/4 inch 1x6 here, so it's a little thicker than 3/4, but it works. As you could see, we still got some more to tear off here, but we're gonna get it today the rest of the way. And then we're gonna come over the top of it with new plywood, like I said. So I'll keep you guys up to date on what we're doing here, but this will get you at least seeing where we're at with it. It's a beautiful day here, so we got a lot of hours of work we can put in. So the way you want to sheet a roof is the way that I look at it. I'll explain to you here. So what you want to do, we have this skip sheeting on here. It's the old stuff. And see how they left this gap in between it? So what you want to do in order to put a good roof on it, you have to have something to nail to all the way through it, right? Like this. So what we did was we come and put another layer on top of this. So whenever you go to nail your sheeting on, or really on any spot of the house, what you want to do is you want to always land on your rafters or your studs. Right in the center of them is what we try to shoot for. And even in this situation where you have plenty of stuff you can nail to all over the place, you still want to be nailing right to your rafters. And you know, that nail right there will go through this and into your rafter. So that's the way you want to nail your sheeting on in any situation you want to be hitting. I look at this like the skeleton of the body of the building, and this is like the skin, the sheeting, and it has to always be fastened to this meat on it, the framing. So I just wanted to explain that to you while I'm up here and got a little section exposed here. And so what I'm doing, as you can see, is I'm nailing it everywhere that we have meat under it to keep it flush, right? It keeps everything flush doing that. And then everywhere that I have some skip sheeting going through, I'll put a nail. So every one of these will have a nail right in the center of it. Sorry, it's kind of blurry. Kind of a redneck here, but we'll get it done. I could explain to you guys how to do all this. That's really the goal here, is to help you guys save some money and figure out how to do this on your own, where you don't have to pay somebody to do it for you. So that's what we got going on here. I only have this one piece left to put on right here, and then I have this whole side over here that needs done still. But I just wanted to show you kind of where I'm at and what it looks like. So what you're trying to do is see how it's all nice and flat and smooth surface. So look here how you got, see how these two pieces are so different in thickness here? That's what's nice when you come over it with new sheeting, is you blow right over stuff like this and it kind of flattens everything out and flushes it up, where you don't have any problems with it looking sloppy from it not being flat. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at with it. I just wanted to share with you guys that. So if you've learned anything from any of this, okay, so now we're to the felt paper part of this roofing job, and I want to explain to you guys how you want to do that. So what you'll do is you want to run it flush down this barred side. See how I did that? I cut a little extra here, but what happens is you put flashing over this edge to protect your sheeting from getting wet here. so I did that, and then I'm a knuckled overhang from my sheeting right here. See? Come down and show you guys. So here's your sheeting, right? You stick your finger to it. I'm a knuckle past on that. And then what you also want to do is, you see the second line here? That's where you want to overlap your next piece to right onto that line, and you'll be running straight all the way down the roof as long as you do that, and knuckle deep and overlap to the second line, and then we'll just go all the way to the top of the roof doing that. And that'll protect this thing from any rain that we might get here in the next few days. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about when I say go to that second line. See that? The second line right here, that's where you want the bottom of this next course to go. So you got a good overlap, like 3.5 inches there. And then you just stick right with that line all the way down the roof, and it'll be good to go. Okay, here's another situation you'll run into. So you're gonna run out of felt paper somewhere along this wall, like, or this roof like this. So what you wanna do is overlap that thing like a foot. And then you just start same spot, flush and flush. You wanna be right over that second line, just like before. And then you just keep on going. But you always want to overlap. You don't want to butt it to that seam. You want to overlap your paper. At least a foot is what I would suggest. Okay, so now I'm putting the starter strips on. So I just wanted to show you guys how you do these. You could buy them, they're in a sheet. So 2 of these are together and they have a dotted line on the back. I'll show you once I get down closer to them what they actually look like. But see, on the front side they have this continual stream of, I don't know, it's like a caulking type stuff that bonds them together, and that you want down. So your layer of shingles will glue together right on this bottom edge so they don't flip up and wind can't drive rain up in there. And what I do is I hold them a little more than a knuckle past. And my nail patterns, I'll go 5 to 6 nails across it. And what you want to do is you want to be pretty close to the center, if not a little bit in from center on your nails. That way the wind can't really pull up on them. Once you put another layer down, it tightens them up even more. But yeah, and then every seam you'll just butt them together. Like you can see, I put my nails pretty close to the seams so they can't flip up, you know, wind right there, get on them. And then you just go down the whole edge. I'll show you when I get over to the barge corner how I do that also, because I went up that whole edge already. But anyways, I just wanted to explain to you guys the nail patterns and how you put the starter strip down, because they have 2 different sides, right? One side looks like this, the other side looks like this. This side you want down. It's kind of got a plasticky film on it. And this side with the glued edge you want up. That way it bonds together on this continual stream all the way down it, right along your bottom edge, so no wind or rain can drive up. So here's the barge rafter. So you want to do the same on this edge right here. Put it right down the edge, and I flush it up right to my flashing. And then on this piece that goes down the fascia, what I do is I cut a foot off the length, and then I butt it all the way up to my seam right here. So you have continuous glue down the edge all the way. Otherwise, it'd be like this, right? And you don't want to do that because then you don't have the glue all the way to the corner, and it could be, sorry, trying to do this with two hands, it's kind of tough, but you want to scoot that thing all the way to your glue line right there. And then you have continuous glue all the way down your outside edge. Okay, we're to our roofing part finally. So I want to show you guys how we do this. This is architectural comp, and I'm going to show you how we install this. So first thing you do is you take a full piece, right? So here's my full piece, and they call this a book. So here's a full one, and then you step down. So that one's 6.5 inches off of that. And then here's another 6.5 inches, which is, you know, 13 inches off of that. And then you just keep stepping down. Stair stepping is what I call it. So anyways, that's how you do that. And what I was explaining to you guys with this first starter course, what I did was I cut a foot off of it. That way you don't ever want your seams lining up, because that's where water could get in if your seams line up. So for instance, if you look at this, see how much of an overlap I have? My seam lands way over here, but the one underneath it's right there. So, and then the other thing is you don't ever want a nail to land on your seam either. That's where water could penetrate into it. So you want to flush it up to the outside edge, flush it to the bottom, no seams lining up, and no nails on your seams. And then I'll just stair step it all the way up, and then just run full ones all the way across. So that's how I'll do it. I'll show you once I got this nailed off. It's kind of hard to video it and do it at the same time up here on this ladder, but I'll nail these off and then show you. Okay, so here's that stair step I was talking about. See? And I actually screwed up. There should be another one in here that breaks about right in here. I got it cut down there, but I just lost my pattern and I didn't notice it until I already had it nailed off here. But you know, in construction you make mistakes, and that's just kind of the name of the game. Don't take it too personal. As long as, like I was telling you guys, as long as your seams don't line up, as long as they stair step like this, no seams line up, you're not on a nail right here, you're fine. So what I'm gonna do, rather than tear all this off and worry about one missing here, I'm gonna just go with it. Go all the way across, and then on my next set up above here, I'll just make sure and put this one in here. But anyways, yeah, that's what you're looking for. Flush down here, and then you want your book to just stair step back. No seams line up, and then you could just full ones all the way across the roof. And it goes pretty quick once you get this first set done. So I just wanted to show you guys kind of what we're looking at. And then over here on this edge, you just want nice and flat all the way up it, or flush is what I like to call it, with your flashing. So there you go, that's what we're looking at here. Okay, so I have this starter course going. I just want to show you guys. So once you get stair step back, that's 2 full rows there, or books I guess is what some people call them. But once you get a nice stair stepped edge like that, then you can really cruise across this thing pretty good. So it's kind of where I'm at. Got this first row down, got my toe boards down, keep safe across this roof, and then I'm just gonna get after it now. So I just want to kind of show you guys what you're looking for, where you just keep stepping back. No seams are lined up with the one underneath it. Everything's just protected from the water all the way through, and then just full pieces, full piece. I mean, you're just cruising across it now. Last night or yesterday, I pretty much got this whole roof done here. And this is what you're looking for. I still got both these ends to do on both sides, but that's kind of the way it goes. And working on this side today, so I just want to show you guys kind of where I'm at now and let you know that, you know, you could do this on your own. Obviously, the more help you got, the better, but here it is. I'm gonna get these toe boards off and get after it. Okay, here's a bottom view of it. So as you can see, like, there's a little bit of like bubble looking action to it. So what happens is the sun comes out with this comp, it melts it all together and connects it. As you can tell, this that I did yesterday, well, you can't, but it's already glued together so it doesn't lift up. But up there it was kind of cold and shady when I put all that on yesterday, so all that's gonna melt down flat today when the sun comes out. I guess I should say if the sun comes out, because here on the Oregon coast we don't get a whole lot of that liquid sunshine, or we get a lot of liquid sunshine, not much of the real deal. So anyways, the rain's coming, I better get after it, but that's what you're looking for. I wanted to show you guys how to put on a ridge cap today. So of course, I'm pretty bad about not taking pictures before a project and during it and all that, but so what I wanted to explain to you guys is how to set these things and kind of which direction to start and all the little details that matter on a project like this. So I'll get to it. So what you want to do, okay, this is the west. Actually, that's kind of southwest right there. And that's typically the way that our storms come here. So as you can see, I'm putting on these ridge caps facing that way. So I started down here on the end and I worked my way up almost all the way. And then I come over here and I start and I work my way up. And I overlap this side over that one. That way, you know, the weather blowing over it like that, it protects all down this edge really well. And then, so what I did was I left one exposed nail right here in the center. So I'll put a little bit of caulking over that. But other than that, you know, I'm just keep working my way down this way. And the reason for that is because, you know, the weather's coming this way, right? So it's gonna be blowing over this course. So if I set them the other way, where the weather is blowing into them this way, it's gonna blow right up and under them, right? I mean, it's gonna have to go a long ways to get into them, so it's not really gonna do anything. I mean, it would have to be a wicked storm to do anything. But I just like to put everything in my favor in life. And so I have them going this way where the weather's coming this way. And you know, water runs downhill, obviously. So, you know, any rain that falls on here is just gonna most likely come down. But we get some crazy winds here. So it's gonna be blowing off this way too. Or straight off of it that way. Or this way. So anyways, that's south and southwest. So what you want to do is you want to always be thinking about your weather and what direction the really crazy amount of it comes from, and that's the direction it comes from here. So what you want to do when you set these is you want to put 2 nails in each side, and you want to put them in the front of the glue line. That holds them down good, and then your next course gets to bond together really well, right? So then what you're doing, I'm centering them right down the middle, and then I don't know if you could tell, but there's like a color change in these shingles, and that's right where you want that edge, this edge of the shingle to go, where you don't notice that color change. And then you have, you know, an inch overlap to that glue, because the bottoms of these don't have the glue on them like the regular shingles do to bond. So what you're counting on is this to bond them together, which it's a nice coating. But anyways, that's how you do it. And then I'll just work my way all the way down this ridge, and then before I finish, I'll work my way up those other 2, and I'll kind of tie it together all on this top piece up here. But anyways, I still got a little bit left to do right here, but as you can see, I'm getting there. This whole thing is almost wrapped up. I would say you give me another hour and I'm gonna have this thing tackled. So I just wanted to show you guys the process to this roofing, and that should mostly finish it up for us. So all right guys, I got this thing busted out, so I just want to show you the final product here. So that's what you're looking at. Ridge cap done. So like I said, I put a little bit of caulking on it, and you can put it in a few spots. This will all melt down once the sun comes out. It don't come out here much, but once it does, we'll get her all melted down. But yeah, got this whole thing slicked up, both sides done. I got my toe boards pulled off, only got a couple more left. I was going to show you guys a little trick on that too. But yeah, everything's finished off on here. On this far end, what happens is, you know, you got a few nails that are showing up. So what you want to do is just, like I said, you put a little bit of that black tar caulking on them, and everything's good to go. Nobody even sees that from the road or anywhere anyway, so it don't matter. Got a few spots with some caulking on them. But yeah, okay, so down here on these, what you do to get these things off and dealt with, where if you ever have to get back up here again, you don't have your foot mashing through a nail, because nails are what hold these things on, right? So what I'll do is I'll tap them up, and then I'll put the bracket over the top of the nails and tap them back in. So I'll show you guys. So tap it out, right, and it loosens up once it gets out, right? And then you'll go right over the top of them nails, and you can feel them there. And once you do that, you just tap them in on top of it here. Be kind of gentle. I'm not going to do it because I'm holding the phone, I will fall off here, but that's how you do it. You mash them back in flat. You can tell when they're in, and then you throw your bracket off and go to the next one. And then your nails down tight, where if you step right here, it doesn't pop through the roof and cause you a leak. Hope I could help save you some money, because I know it saved me probably at least $5,000 doing this thing by myself. And you know, you do projects like that, and all this stuff you guys could do yourself. Just pay attention. I'll be throwing videos on there all the time, because I'm always doing projects left and right, different stuff, and every bit of it I could teach you guys stuff in order to save you money. So that's really the trick, is keeping more money in your pocket so you can go buy you some of this property. Like I was telling you guys, my goal with this page really is to get a big team of people. And you know, we're always looking for investors because there's a ton of opportunity out in this world, and you know, the bigger team you have, the more you can grow. So that's our goal. So if you guys are interested in being a part of this, we're gonna build up a big portfolio of houses eventually. And so make sure to like us and subscribe and that bell, and you guys know what to do. I don't need to explain it to you, but keep up to date with us, because I could help save you guys some money, and I could show you the process and explain, you know, how to do all of it really, whether it's cash out refinancing these houses or how to come up with a creative financing strategy in order to buy them. I mean, there's just so much knowledge that we have that we could share with you, and that's what we're trying to do, is help you and build a team up. So make sure to keep up with us, and we'll show you how to do it, because I promise you we're going somewhere.